What's up, guys? Today we're here with Tony at Rock and Roll Harley Davidson, and they just got in the 2024 Road Glide Standard and the 2024 Street Glide Standard. I can tell you right now, these colors, I think I like them better than my CVO. We're just going to go over some of the features from the new ones compared to the 2023 models. And as you can see, they carried over the CVO style over to the standards. So we're going to hop right into it. All right, Tony, so let's start off with the Road Glide for 2024. What do they bring to the table that's new? We obviously already see the looks.
Yeah, so like you said, obviously they brought over the CVO new fairing, completely redesigned. They actually redesigned both of these new fairings in wind tunnels specifically for the purpose of reducing head buffeting, making a much smoother ride for everybody, while still, maintaining that nice, aggressive, Harley appearance to them.
Okay.
Starting off with like the headlights on these, they redesigned them again so they have a nice W shape. They really wanted to have a nice iconic look for the headlights for both new models. That way, when people see the both motorcycles coming down the road, they know exactly what you're looking at.
Right. So you mentioned the headlight, which I really like the headlight. If it's anything like the one on mine, these things are super bright at night. Definitely an upgrade. And this is just the standard model, so that all comes standard.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually what the motor company did this year is they eliminated all the extra models of the road and street glide. So now there is just one model of each, just a road glide and just a street glide. So yeah, it eliminates confusion, eliminates a lot of people's indecision about which models to get. Now there is just one model of each, that's available to people.
Okay. Hey, so that means Harley is finally offering LED everything for the lights. It took forever to finally get. They're selling Street Glide specials last year with still halogen lights, which blew my mind. But
yeah, so I mean, you're right. They did LED front. They have LED integrated turn signals up in the front as well. And then the rear, if you take a look back here, LED brake lights, LED turn signals that are fully integrated into the rear fender.
I also see that they changed the seat. It's no longer just that black plain leather. You know what kind of material this outside?
I'm not totally sure about the material, but what I do know is that they did redesign the seat for comfort. They wanted to allow the riders' hips to be adjusted in a much more neutral position that'll allow for more comfort over a longer period of time.
Okay. What else we got that's different here?
So one of the biggest changes that they did is going to be in the motor. All of the new touring bikes, road glides, and street glides are shipped standard with the 117 in them, but it is a redesigned 117. So It is now liquid cooled. They have a liquid cooling system to target the cylinder head specifically. Again, more comfort, keeps you more powerful for longer.
Wow.
They also have a radiator fan built in already, so nobody has to go and purchase one, install it, anything like that. Again, they're really, really taking into account rider comfort as well as rideability of the motorcycles.
Yeah, that's huge, man. One of the huge upgrades that they've done, they got rid of that old Harley GTS system. So Tony's going to go ahead and fire this up. I'm going to show you guys the radio.
So it's now a 12.3-inch TFT display on here that actually gives you 90% more surface area diagonally than the previous generation of navigation and infotainment. It is all touchscreen, as you can see here, completely digital gauges. You can customize the color, you can customize the setup. There are 3 different modes here for the actual gauges that you can change and adjust based off of, your riding style, the kind of look that you want to go for as well.
As far as on my CVO, this radio has been great. It does have a few little glitches, and Harley's working through that. I know they put out some updates and stuff, but so far I love it. Now for the standards, are these still Rockford Fosgate speakers?
So they are a stage 1 audio from Harley Davidson and Rockford Fosgate on here. Now one of the really cool things about both of these bikes is that they come with a 200-watt amp. Now, so it is going to be a 100% increase from the previous generation. So you're not going to have to really worry about having to purchase an additional amp, installing another amp if you want to add like bag speakers or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, the one thing I do suggest is you're probably going to have to replace this windshield as soon as you get it, because at least I had to on mine, because you couldn't really hear the radio when you're going at speed, but change that windshield, it's night and day. So now they got 3 different ride modes, 3?
So there's actually going to be 4. There's 3
Okay.
preset, and then you have an option to do a custom ride.
Oh, they brought that over to this
Yep.
one too. Wow.
Mhm.
Very, very cool. Yeah. So the custom mode, you can actually kind of pick pieces and parts from like what are the three other modes?
Yeah, so the 3 ride modes are going to be rain, road, and then sport mode. And then like Joe was saying, you can either do a preset option from one of the other ride modes, or you are able to actually get into the system and kind of fine tune how much, engine braking, what the throttle response will be like, and a couple different other things as well.
Okay. Another thing that they changed for 2024 is you no longer have the screw off gas cap. You just have a little flip top, and when you're done, just bring it back down. You don't have to worry about losing your gas cap. I know I've done that in the past, left it on top of the pump, and then had to hop online and get a new one. Now, another cool thing that they did is they now have an adjustable brake lever. You can adjust this little wheel right here to bring the brake lever in or out, which is pretty cool. Now, I will say, based off of my experience, when I got my CVO, I had to adjust the clutch because the friction zone was pretty much all the way out there, but after a quick adjust, it was perfect.
One of the things that they did change specifically on the Road Glide is going to be the bars, actually. So they provided a wider and flatter bar, as well as giving all of the Road Glides 27 degrees of adjustment. So you are able to either bring them back further or go away from you, depending on what's comfortable for you and how you like to ride.
Now with the wheels, these are 19?
It's a 19 in the front and 18 in the back.
All right, so you got the aluminum wheels, which is pretty nice. They didn't go with the inverted forks, though.
No, so they are keeping the inverted forks on the CVO model. They were looking for, not everybody is looking for that sporty feel that the inverted forks are going to be giving you. So they wanted to keep the traditional style of forks on the, base model is what we'll call it for now.
And it also comes with the 4-point docking hardware, which is huge. You don't have to go out and buy that.
Big thing that they did in the back end while we're here is they have a new rear suspension system. So it's Showa dual outboard shock absorbers on both sides that actually have a quick preload adjustment underneath the bag. And you just take off the left bag and you can adjust both from there. They actually now have 3 inches of travel in the rear suspension, which is a huge, huge difference from the previous models.
Now, one thing is make sure you adjust both sides. On the right side, it comes with a little tool so you can adjust that other shock, and it's super easy. Tony's got the tool right there. Now, Tony's going to go over the weight of these.
So they reduced the Road Glide here by 16 pounds and the Street Glide by 18 pounds.
All right, now Tony's going to talk to me about the new Street Glide that just came in here.
Yeah, so this is our brand new 2024 Street Glide. The color on this one is Blue Burst. Everything on this bike from, the fairing back is going to be the exact same as on the Road Glide. The difference, obviously, is going to be the Batwing fairing on here. They now have integrated turd signals on here, just like the CVO.
Yeah, that's huge. Since pretty much everything's just about the same except for the fairing, we're going to go over some of the unique features on the fairing compared to the Road Glide. So now on the Road Glide, it has the 2 little cubby holes, and now on the Street Glide, Tony, what do they do here on the Street Glide?
So they have this nice drawer here that's hidden with this push button right here. You just press that. It slides out, comes with a plug-in for a USB-C charger now instead of the USB-A. And then just to show you guys the size of it, I currently have the largest model of iPhone. I can just toss that in there, close it. No more struggling, no more squeezing, try to fit it in between that.
Right. His phone's in there. I've got the largest Samsung, which it might be a little bigger. And
I think you might be able to fit it right on top of it a little bit.
Maybe. Look at that. Samsung and an iPhone in the same case. We better get them out of there before they start fighting each other. But yeah, so enormous tray. I know previously on my Street Glide that cubby hole, we had 1 cubby hole for storage, and I didn't even hardly use it. Maybe for a pair of glasses. Useless for my phone. Couldn't even fit it in there. Then of course you still got your mirrors on the fairing, and one thing with the standards that I've noticed is they don't come with the painted inner fairing. So if you want that painted inner fairing, you're gonna have to bump it up to the CVO. Then another change that they did that we didn't mention on the Road Glide is they changed the saddlebags. It's a little bit of a different shape. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So they are a little bit wider while being a little bit shorter. They wanted to give it a much more athletic appearance, but they actually do have more storage volume than any of the previous bags that we had, even on the specials that were, stretched and wrapped around the
Right.
gloves.
Yeah. All right, guys. So since I am here at Rock and Roll Harley Davidson, before we go out on the test ride, Tony, how can somebody contact you guys if you want to come up to Rock and Roll Harley and check these out, or better yet, just buy one?
Yeah, so you can give us a call at 216-252-3111, or you could come visit us here. We're local to Cleveland. Our address is 4985 150th Street, or West 150th Street. We're right on the corner of Brook Park and 150th.
All right, perfect. And these guys will take care of you. I mean, awesome place. I've bought the last, I think I've had 6 or 7, which 3 in the past last year. But so luckily I'm still married. These guys took good care of me. So make sure you come on over here and check them out. Now let's hop on these bikes and ride, baby. Alrighty, guys. Getting ready to hop here on the bikes. And right now I'm going to end up taking the Street Glide. Tony's over there on the Road Glide. So we're going to see how these compare here. Now, you guys know I got the Road Glide CVO, so I'm not going to set my standards too high, but, All right, get these gloves on. Go ahead and hop on. All right, go ahead and fire this bad boy up here. First gear, and I'm going to follow Tony here. Yeah. See, this one, first initial thought, you got to adjust that clutch, because I got to have it almost all the way out, man. First thing I noticed when I hopped on this thing, man, this seat is soft. I really enjoyed the seat. Did a little bobbing and weaving. This feels nice, man. Oh, look at this. Tony's been working on his slow speed maneuvers. He just got a Road King. Very nice. Yeah, see, he's smiling. It's fun. I will not scrape this one, though, because it's not mine. All right, hop on the road. And right now I'm in rain mode. The power isn't really there, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it. We got to put it in that sport mode. Yeah, there's a sport. See what kind of power this thing has. I mean, it has a 117, so as I said before, that's a huge upgrade compared to the 107. That 107's gone. It's no longer. So far on the suspension, doesn't feel too bad. Feels a lot better than when I first got my CVO, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I gotta let that clutch almost all the way out. I'm not a huge fan of that. Wow. Sport mode, you can feel that power. It's got a little pep in the step. It feels good, man. What do you think?
I love it. I love this thing.
So unfortunately, we're in Cleveland, so there isn't very many good places to ride, but we're gonna go down here through the metro parks. Over here to the left, you got the airport right there. Little twist of the throttle. Feels good, baby. You're definitely going to have zero issues trying to get around somebody. When you hit that throttle, man, it goes. It's great. I'm not going to lie, man. Like, this suspension feels good. Like, the road that we were on before is quite bumpy, and this has a nice ride to it. There's our local NASA research center to your left. All right, now I think we're going to stop over here, and we're going to switch out. I'm going to ask Tony what he thinks about it.
I like the power, actually, and I was actually surprised that the engine noise is actually nice, too.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, it definitely has the power, man. So when you hit the throttle, it goes.
Yeah.
So that's great. All right, guys, we're going to take this bad boy for a spin. Yeah, I left it in gear. So we're going to head out, let Tony take the lead. See, this clutch is adjusted way better. So they need to work on the consistency with that. Yeah. You can't beat that power, dude. Especially for being a stock. Cannot beat it. That was in road mode too. It's just so nimble. It's not, you can definitely tell that they got lighter. It's great. You feel how much you gotta let that clutch out? This one's way different. All right, so now we're gonna hit a nice little curve here. Jeez, watch out for that box truck. Dude, these things handle super nice. And the suspension on this Road Glide, obviously it's pretty much going to be the same. It doesn't have the inverted forks, so it's not as sporty, but I think that without the inverted forks, it kind of makes it a little bit smoother. Maybe that's why it feels smoother. I don't know. This is great, man.
You can definitely tell they're lighter if you bring like a normal road glider.
Yeah, that's literally what I just said, man. Like they're definitely a lot lighter. It's so much easier to maneuver.
Yeah.
Wow, man. It is not lacking power, my man. Now I can only imagine what that CVOST is going to be like. That's going to blow this out of the water, even though this is pretty good. And once that comes in, I'll be doing a review of that as well. Okay, rolling back into Rock and Roll Harley Davidson. And I'm going to get Tony's thoughts because he's never rode any of these before. I mean, for me, I like it. I want to see what Tony thinks about it. All right, guys, so we just got back from the ride. Me and Tony are going to kind of go over our thoughts here. Tony, what's your first initial impression of these?
I absolutely loved it. It was my first time actually getting a chance to ride either of these bikes, and I was honestly surprised by a couple different things. Like we had mentioned at that stoplight, the weight was something that I didn't expect to notice, but after riding every single bike that we have in here, you definitely notice how much lighter these are compared to the last generation.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And that's one of the things that I was telling you guys, man. Like, these things are a lot more lighter and more nimble. And the big takeaway for me was the seat. The seat's like riding on a pillow.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I mean, we just kept mentioning it. We mentioned it when we just got off the bikes, just how soft these seats are, especially compared to the 23 CVOs and even like a 23 Street Glide. These seats are much, much softer.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost think that I might try and get one of those seats. Harleys might be breaking that stigma of you get the bike and you automatically got to change the seat right away. I wish they would have came out with that with the CVO. Whatever they did with this, do it to that.
No, I'm with you. I imagine there's probably going to be a whole slew of CVO owners who might be considering getting on, the standard seat at this point.
Yeah, 100%. Was there anything else that stood out about the bike?
I really enjoyed the power of it. I had mentioned it to you during the ride a couple times that, again, I have a chance to ride all the bikes that we have, every bike that we get in, and still I was pretty surprised by the power and, that aggressive feeling that you got when you hit it in sport mode and you just crank that throttle. It's a little wet, so I couldn't go, full bore,
Right.
But you still notice it, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You turn that throttle and the thing goes, and it also has the low end torque on it too. So if you're going like 2,300 RPMs, you twist that throttle, and especially if you're in sport mode, that thing up and goes, man.
Yeah, I mean, each of these bikes, I can tell you, they both have 130 foot-pounds of torque. You feel every single one of them.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's huge, man. Tony, I want to thank you for letting me come up here, review these bikes, and it was awesome time, man.
Yeah, I had a great time with you, Joe. Come on back. We'll go for another ride. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll be coming back once that CVOST comes, and I'll do a review on that. Can't wait to do that for you guys. So, all right, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Joe.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and as always, this is Jogo with Jogo Motorcycle Adventures, and until next time, ride on.